Bickley and Marotta. Bickley and Marotta mornings. Arizona sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Torey Lovullo has become Torey Longevity. He is just the 118th manager of 849 in history to reach 10 years at the helm of a big league club, which places him in the top 13%, and now he ranks third in the Valley, trailing only Frank Cush and John McLeod for longest 10 years at the top of an Arizona sports franchise. Now, of course, not everybody is happy. There are fans who blame Torey for most everything. A surety cost the team 20-plus games last season, and I really hope his strongest detractors have taken measure of his most recent comments and how most decisions within the club are made by a committee, which means your wrath should have many targets and not just the manager. There are also listeners ripping me for being soft on Lovullo by supporting his return, and you people clearly haven't been paying attention. Now, Lovullo received no contract extension, which means he will be a lame duck manager for at least the third time in his tenure. That's also rare, a burden of proof that most managers cannot handle because they need the security and the power to thrive. Those have never been obstacles to Lovullo, and I respect that. And the last time he was a lame duck, the Diamondbacks responded with a run to the World Series. Here's hoping history repeats itself, or his critics will eventually have their way. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
We just had extraordinary amounts of energy, of injuries. And, the manager's job is to do the best he can with the talent he has. And to put a perspective on it, our season went south. We got to the end of July, and not Torey, but his bosses, if you will, Derek, Mike, and me, decided that we were out of it, and we needed to reduce payroll and give younger players a chance to play. And to the credit of our manager, he held the team together, and they performed very, very well through the remainder of the season, and we got right to the edge of being in the playoffs.
That's Ken Kendrick, managing general partner of the Diamondbacks, on yesterday with Burns and Gambo. Day after, Diamondbacks wasted no time. It was locker cleanout day. They announced it yesterday. Torey Lovullo will be back for a 10th season. I hadn't thought of it in the historical context of all coaches in the Valley.
Yeah.
Frank
Cush, 21 and a half seasons.
John McLeod, how long?
John McLeod, 13 and a half.
Wow.
Then Torey clocks in at 10, then Bruce Snyder at 9, and Dave Tippett at 8. Now, wow. I may have missed somebody, but I don't think so.
That's
a long time at the top running an organization.
Especially in today's landscape. I mean, you see impatience all the time.
Yep.
Diamondbacks are showing a lot of patience. And Ken Kendrick saying there, look, with the talent that he had, Torey Lovullo did a good job. The Torey critics don't want to see that. Any Torey critic that is saying he cost this team 20-plus games.
Oh, it's more than one person. I can show you the emails and the texts and everything. Yeah. No, listen, I've got people I wish we had the old Bickley back. The one who doesn't kowtow to the teams.
One who drives people out of town, that guy?
That guy. And I just laugh.
How do they decide on what they want to complain about you?
Well, it's
which side?
People just want to hear what they want to hear. That's the state of the world, right? And if you're not of their mindset, then you're the enemy. It's ridiculous.
Here was the and this is again proof. These are facts. These are irrefutable. The Diamondbacks were racked with injuries, especially in the pitching staff this year. This was the Diamondbacks' opening day bullpen, Bick, all right?
Mm-hmm.
A.J. Puck didn't finish the year. Justin Martinez didn't finish the year. Bryce Jarvis did finish the year but was up and down and wasn't really a key factor through the season either way. Joe Mantiply, gone, no longer with the organization. Jalen Beeks, okay, made it through.
Yeah.
Probably the most reliable, consistent bullpen arm they had. Ryan Thompson, up and down season, ended up, in the closing bullpen. Ryan Nelson started in the bullpen, became a starter. Shelby Miller out at the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
You lose. That doesn't even count Kevin Ginkel, who started on the injured list. And look, the gink was not the gink this year.
What? I forgot about him completely.
Yeah.
He's somebody that's been trusted, and he didn't finish the year in the bullpen.
No.
It was a remarkable string of injuries.
Isn't it weird?
And I'm not.
Yeah.
And that's not an excuse. Again, that is a fact.
Mm-hmm. The idea that Corbin Burnes is looking to be back in July, if that's early July, that excites me a little bit.
He says All-Star break, usually mid-July.
Okay.
Probably following would be around the 20th of July. I don't know what the calendar looks like for the All-Star game next year. That would be roughly 13 months and a week after the injury was suffered. June 1st was that day. So maybe.
But does he come back
13 and a half months?
Does he come back immediately as Corbin Burnes, or does he come back on a pitch count? They ease him into it,
absolutely,
and essentially the rest of the season is just getting him ready for the following
You're right.
year.
If just now I can begin my rehab. You're right. Then he's gone for the whole season. Yeah, I took the I'll be back. I mean,
no, he said.
In the rotation.
In the rotation, but is it like,
that's
okay,
what I'm excited about.
He's back, but he's 40 pitches, 50 pitches, 60 pitches.
Obviously, to start, he's a $210 million investment. And you know how this works in Major League Baseball now. They're going to have a governor on guys like that because there's just too much money involved.
Yeah.
They're not going to just throw them to the wolves.
But if the Diamondbacks are, quote, contending or relevant as they want to be next year, although given the decrease in payroll, if you get Corbin Burnes back and you can level him up, all of a sudden you get a ace, and if you make the playoffs, now you're cooking.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of
questions. It's like the Dodgers with Ohtani.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of questions about Zack Gallen's future. He's hitting free agency. He had a very good second half. Well, I'm not even going to say full second half. Post-trade deadline, Zack Gallen was the pitcher that we mostly seen in his time in Arizona. He got denied a chance to start a last game at Chase Field for some odd reason that we still don't have the answer to. By the way, Torey Lovullo, Mike Hazen talking today at 10:30.
Nice.
But will he be back? Ken Kendrick was asked the question on the future by Burns and Gambo. The future of Zack Gallen in Arizona.
He's a special young man. He spent nearly 7 years as a D-back. He definitely had an up and down season this year. He performed better in the later part of the year than he did certainly in the earlier part of the year. I think his actions the other evening, he didn't want to take his uniform off. He's loved being a Diamondback. I don't want to say it's out of the touch of reality that we would be able to work out an arrangement to bring him back. But certainly he's been a great D-back. If last I recall, he was the guy who pitched 7 or 8 innings of no-hit ball in a World Series game for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yes, great Diamondback. Loved watching him pitch. I'm really happy he turned it around at the end of the season.
Yeah, me too. He's the guy you want to root for.
So what does that mean in terms of salary? And Ken Kendrick talked about that. Are they going to add more payroll? They had a record payroll going into the year.
They're not going to do that.
They trimmed a lot of payroll at the deadline. Zack Gallen made $13.5 million this past year. Is he in the $20 million range as a starter after that second half of the season? It's conceivable. Is a $7 million raise annually, and then when you weigh it against what was cut at the deadline, is that too much to bring back? They need pitchers. Zack Gallen's a proven commodity.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of market Merrill Kelly, and not just to dwell on former Diamondbacks, but Merrill Kelly had an up and down tenure. He had a string of really good outings. His last 2 were not good at all. He got blown up by the Astros, and the Rangers ended up missing the playoffs. So I don't think the body of work in Texas is going to incentivize the Rangers to give him a chunky 3-year deal.
Yeah.
I may be wrong, but he might be available as well.
He might be, and he made it clear before he was dealt that he would, even after he was dealt, that he would definitely come back. I want to say one last thing on the retention of Torey Lovullo. There was a lot of people I saw, because this coincided on a day with the Giants firing Bob Melvin. And a lot of Diamondbacks fans clamoring, "Whoa, Bob Melvin, bring him in. Torey Lovullo is a .500 manager. Do you not remember what Bob Melvin was here? One playoff game appearance in 2007. Here's his other seasons as Diamondbacks manager: 77 and 85, 76 and 86, 82 and 80, 12 and 17. Okay.
Yeah.
Recency bias?
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. But again, it's and also Bruce Bochy, a manager who beat Torey Lovullo for a World Series title, got fired.
95 years old.
He's 70 years old.
I know.
Those guys don't get jobs. They ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, that is true.
He's made entirely out of chewing tobacco.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.